Good morning, guys. This is Rojimbo, and today we're going to be talking about some Balisongs. In particular, we're going to be talking about the Emerson Commander. The Emerson Commander Balisong, of course. So, this is a interesting little knife. Not so little, actually. This thing comes in at actually 9 inches, 9 1/8 overall. So actually quite a large knife. And a really interesting balisong, really. Kind of unlike anything else really that's out there on the market, or that I've ever really seen before. It was brought to my attention by one of my subscribers that actually no one has a video on this out. So I can't believe that. But at the same time, I kind of can believe it because it's weird. It seems like when the Emerson Balisongs were announced back in 2016, it was kind of like it was a big thing, at least online. People were talking mad amounts of shit about it. Everyone was all pissed off that there was a wave feature built into a Balisong. And of course it's not a wave feature, it's just the signature wave style of Emerson, and it's a thumb ramp is what it is. So, if you were to actually use this thing as a knife, you'd be able to put a fair amount of force behind that thumb ramp and actually get some good leverage out of it. So it has a function for sure. Now, when they first announced them, they were just showing the wave. None of them were waveless. And then when they finally released, like a full year later in 2017, there was a whole there's two different types of these Emerson Balisongs that you can buy. There's the type with the wave and the type without the wave. They prefixed it with a T for tactical, and they also had the F for flipper. So if you got like the long horse model, which was just sort of like a classic, just straight blade, no thumb ramp, no wave, that would be the long horse F flipper. So there was a couple of other things that they did for the flipper models. They didn't include any kind of jimping, because people online on forums and stuff were complaining about, oh, the jimping is gonna wear out your fingers and shit. And they also didn't include the wave, and also didn't include this little guard at the bottom here. So they were thinking about the Balisong flipping community a little bit when they designed the F flipping models. The other F flipping models that they had were the CQC7. They also had the CQC7 in the T tactical series as well, with the thumb ramp or the wave. Personally, I think that why buy one of these Emerson Balisongs without the wave? It just looks cool, and so is it gonna really get in the way of some of your elaborate flipping tricks or techniques? Maybe, but I'm really not that good of a flipper that I could tell you that it affects me a whole lot. Part of the reason I put off doing a review on this was because I'm not the fantastic knife flipper. I mean, I can do a few things, but I can't show you all kinds of crazy aerials and shit like that. Just sort of, I just fuck around with it. I have fun with it. That said, again, it's been a year and there's no videos. I gotta show you guys what this thing's all about. Because it's really nice, and I'm not gonna let my own inadequacies keep you guys from seeing how nice a knife this is. It's not a lot of play back there. Also, you can see here, this is an adjustable latch. So you can adjust the amount of tension that you have on that latch so that you can, you know, make it so it pops super easily, or make it so that it's, you know, super tight. Pretty much up to you. Let's see. This thing's got this this pocket clip. I can't legally carry this thing anywhere. Like, it's just an indoor item for me, so I haven't really used the pocket clip. It was actually one of the few things that I did think was a little bit rinky-dink about this. It's titanium. It's nice, but I just don't like how close that that screw is to the edge of it. It just looks like it doesn't really go with the design. I mean, I see that they're kind of, you know, making it so that it can attach on any of these 4 quadrants, but it just looks a little bit weird to me, and it's very thin, you know, in this portion. So that would be one of my beefs. While I'm talking about my beefs, I might as well get that out of the way right off the gate. The other thing that I don't like about this knife is, check this out. So you see how this nice recurve, it seats pretty deep into that handle, and let's see if you can see it. Yeah, see right in here? That's the blade. So just where this dips down, that blade hits its apex, or pretty close to its apex, and if you wanted, you could push your finger in there and actually cut yourself. So that's a little bit of a fail. But you know what? I don't really see how they could have done it any other way. There's no other way to get what you got here. You know, a recurve commander style blade, and then also have this sort of thin profile. So I don't know. I guess it's just it's what you get. You know. That said, you'd have to be really, you know, I don't know, fucking around with it in order to cut yourself. So, you know, don't be an asshole about it, and you're probably not going to get hurt. Now on to the kind of the good things about it. What I really do love about this knife, more so, you know, flipping it and having fun handling it, is that, see how Emerson is using kind of the more old style, almost like the old manila folders, like the just a rounded tang with a pin, as opposed to something like, you know, your more modern style of this sort of like little nipple here that kind of catches in between the. See how these 2 stop pins here sandwich that little nipple. Well, the problem with that is you can be flipping this thing, and that'll grab a chunk of skin, and you can pinch yourself get a pretty nasty pinch, especially on this bare bones. You know, they really, you know, part of how they kept the cost down is they didn't chamfer a whole lot of edges on this thing. So, I mean, I had to come back in here and round this off slightly, just so that I wasn't slicing my finger open just playing with the thing. So, you know, I do definitely like this kind of the more old school style of the rounded tang with the pin. That just is way nicer on the fingers. Yeah, I really love the latch. I think that's a huge win. It looks nice. Let's see. Yeah, it's just really attractive looking. You know, you set your own kind of tension. It's nice. I like all this jimping. I'm a big fan of, you know, obviously the ramp. The G10 is grippy, so I guess, you know, that could affect you in some of your flipping tricks and stuff like that. But, you know, no more so than probably like a 51. But yeah, no, it's a really nice knife. One of my favorite Emersons, my famous tagline. But truly, it's unlike any other Emerson out there. So let's do some comparisons to the other Balisongs I have here on the table. So we got a Mako, and the Mako and the Commander are actually a pretty good comparison because they're almost the same size, and weight-wise, the Commander comes in at 4.1 ounces, and the Mako comes in at 4.2 ounces. So very, very similar weight. Your bare bones is with a really gnarly, tough latch. That thing is quite a bit longer, and actually quite a bit heavier. That guy comes in at 5.8 ounces, so much, much heavier on the bare bones. So yeah, I think let's take a look at the point of balance on Mako versus the Commander. That should give you some kind of a metric. There we go. So fairly similar. That said, you can see that the Mako is a little bit longer in the handle, and you really do kind of feel that length difference. You can see that as well with the bare bones. So much longer handle. Yeah, handle length is similar on these two. Much shorter on the Commander. So what that translates to is it makes it feel, even though the pivot point, the balance point is fairly similar between, you know, this and, you know, the Mako and also the Commander, it makes the Commander feel like the handles are more lightweight than they really are. What I think I would like to do eventually is make a pair of handle scales for the Commander, possibly in like silver or brass, something like that. And I think that would really make it, I don't know, it would feel more properly weighted, because as it is, it feels blade heavy. It's still a lot of fun to play with. Like, you're gonna hear some clinging and clanging. It's fun to play with. It's just it's very fast because of that, and yeah, I don't know. I think that if you were good at flipping Balisongs, you'd have no trouble flipping this thing. I think that there was just so much outrage online that they, you know, had to state that, hey, this is the tactical one. Don't plan on, you know, don't hold us accountable if you're not able to flip it as well, because, you know, we added some of our signature jimping and thumb ramps and shit like that. But I think that if you like the look, you know, there's really nothing to stop you from having a lot of fun with this thing. And if you like the look of the recurve, the Commander blade, you actually don't have another option. I mean, I guess you could buy this and grind off the thumb ramp, but they don't sell the Commander in a flipping version. They do sell the CQC and the Long Horse in the flipping version, so I guess go at that if you want. Let's talk about price. It's a little bit expensive. I think these are like $350. So definitely way above the, like, I don't know what these are, like $250, but it's in that range of like I don't know, like some of your nicer replicants or alpha beasts, stuff like that. Certainly lower than a lot of other really, you know, I mean, there's so many high-end Balisongs out there. The prices get up there pretty quickly. So, you know, it's just a matter of does this thing have the cool factor that kind of makes it something that you want to pick up despite the competition or despite the price. Let's see, other things to note. It's got ball bearing pivots. I've not taken it apart because I just don't want to do that. Not yet. Eventually I will. If I make handle scales, definitely. But yeah, very obviously super smooth. Just buttery as can be. Yeah. I pre-ordered this thing the second that I saw that it was available on Blade HQ. By the way, that's the only place that you can buy these, Blade HQ. And I was lucky enough to get serial number 23, which was really sweet because 23 has always kind of been like a lucky number for me. It's my birthday. So just really nice kind of little bit of luck there. As far as the edge goes and like sharpness, this thing came razor sharp. I mean, just as sharp as, you know, any of the most, they're really nice, you know, new production, razor sharp pieces. That said, I went ahead and dulled it down a little bit because I play with it, and it was scary sharp. Like I couldn't play with it. So, you know, I know it's a little bit sacrilegious to take a stone to a knife in that way, but I needed to do it because I wasn't getting my usage out of it. Let's see. I guess I would say that this little the Emerson sign here, I feel like that's a little bit. I don't know how they could have done it. I guess there's no way to stretch it or pull it back a little bit, but it feels a little bit, I don't know, out of place, or it's at the most narrow portion of the blade. I know you're not going to put it here, but maybe a little further back. I don't know. That to me stands out slightly, but still, it's, you know, it's the Emerson logo, so still looks very good. But yeah, guys, that's the Emerson Commander Balisong. Quickly, I forgot to tell you the stats. Like I said, 4.1 ounces, 5 3/8 when it's closed, and then 9 1/8 when it's open. So, 4-inch blade. Really attractive blade. Well, hope you guys liked the review, and I will chat with you guys again soon. Take care.